Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I kind of have something different, and today it's story time. I actually want to talk about my first Brazilian wax. I feel like this is kind of an interesting thing to talk about. Let's go ahead and start off from the beginning. At first I was shaving all the time. If for those of you who know, it's exhausting and very dangerous. You can just be shaving, you know, daydreaming, or probably like lifting your gut up and like all struggling, and like lifting your leg over here, lifting your leg over there, making sure that they're so, because you don't want to cut the shit out of you. And then you know, you're just being happy, and then all of a sudden you cut wrong and half of your vagina's gone. But if you want to get technical, one thing leads to another and all of your labia is gone, or half of your vulva is gone, or your clitoris is gone. Like, come on now. If you want me to be graphic, I'll be graphic. Oh God, it's a very tiring and exhausting experience that men will not understand. Well, I don't know what men go through, if I'm being honest. So that was me, little old me. And then this YouTuber talked about her first Brazilian wax, and I was like, click, I want to watch this. And she started talking about her experience, and I was like, and then she started saying, you know, it's so, because it doesn't grow out, it takes like 6 weeks for it to fully grow out again. And I was like, 6 weeks without shaving? Oh my gosh, that's like my dream. Like, I hate shaving. Like, I don't want to be all TMI, but I didn't shave my legs for probably 2 months, and I look like a grown man. So she was telling me about this experience and everything, and I was like, you know, I kind of really want to. Like, I feel like now that I'm becoming older, you know, I'm 20 though, pretty young, and I was like, I'm trying to try new things. I'm trying to accept my body for the way it is, accept the hair, and you know, I wanted to try new things basically. And so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. So I looked up several Brazilian wax places, and she was telling me she paid over $100 her first time. Like, I was like, am I gonna expect to pay like over $100? I want to at least say I've tried it. And then for those of you who've seen Miss Congeniality, she makes it sound horrific. I'm just like this girl's over here telling me it hurts like shit, and then I hear, like, what's her name? Gosh, I forgot her name. I hear Sandra Bullock, that's the actress. I hear her scream, and I'm just like, oh my God, is that gonna be me? I booked it, and I found this one specific place that's called Wax by Andrea. It's very popular around Atlanta, and I go to the one that's like in the kind of the rich part of Atlanta called Buckhead. They make you feel like a queen, and they're like, if I'm being like, I realize that I say if I'm being honest a lot. Sorry. Anyways, I'm the kind of person that gets off topic real quickly. I'm sorry, if I'm being honest. So right when I called them, I'm like, is there anything I need to do before this? You know, this is my first time waxing. They're like, oh, just make sure your hair is like about 1/4 of an inch long, or maybe longer, just a little bit. If it's full grown, that's even better. And I'm like, girl, this thing has been full grown for probably a year. So I was like, I'm ready. And they say to make sure, like, not to exfoliate really hard like the day of, but just, you know, to kind of gently exfoliate it, you know, so your kind of pores open up a bit more, so the hair comes out more smoothly, which honestly I never do. When you get there, you can either take yourself like cleansing wipes, which Summer Eve has some. They have like little small packets of one, which I sometimes carry, and I also have them in my home, because, you know, just for days I'm just like, I need to clean that. And you know, and they also provide some. I mean, sometimes, you know, I go through the drawers because I don't see them out there, and I'm like, oops. And so basically you go, I'll tell you the prices in a minute. So I'm just gonna go step by step of how it happened, okay? So you know exactly what's going to happen. Maybe in different shops they tell you that. Okay, so you go in, you walk inside, you tell them, I'm here for my appointment. So this place, they can go by appointment. It's better because you don't have to sit there and wait, because other people make appointments, and now you're gonna have to wait until those ladies are like done. And so I made an appointment with this one lady. Her name was Dora. They all are very nice women. And so I waited, and so she called me back, and then she's all like, oh, so what are you getting today? And then I'm like, I'm getting a Brazilian. This is my first time. She's like, oh, okay, it's your first time, relax, you know, be calm, you know. She told me straight up, it is going to hurt the first time. And I'm like, you're supposed to make me feel better. You're making me feel worse, girl. I'm gonna run the hell out of here. But, you know, I'm like, I won't look like no punk. Oh, man, I was like, okay, you know, I kind of expected that. I understand, you know, I mean, they're ripping hair out of your skin. So I was like, okay. So she's like, okay, go ahead and get undressed. And so me, being the smart woman I am, I get undressed, but I don't take my underwears off. And and so she comes, knocks on the door, like, are you ready? And she's like, I'm like, am I supposed to take my underwears off? Like, really? Like, how are they gonna wax my cooter if there's underwears on me? She's like, yeah, go ahead, take off your underwears. And I'm like, and then, like, if I'm being honest, it's very weird and uncomfortable for me specifically. I was very uncomfortable. Like, you know, you're just all there, you're kind of in your birthday suit, like halfway of your body, and I was like very uncomfortable because like this other woman is just staring at it, like staring at it. I don't even let my husband do that. Like, that's weird. That's pretty disgusting. Like vaginas are weird. She told me, oh, there's this wipe here if you want to use it. And I'm like, oh, okay. So she's like, okay, I'll come back again. It took her like 4 times for her to like fully come inside and start working on me. So, you know, they give you a cloth. It's like one of those just cleansing wipes that it's very safe for you to use down there. And you clean yourself front to back, if you did not know. And she's like, okay, lay down. And so you lay down, like there's like a, you know, like a bed mat. Kind of look like you're about to go to a gynecologist meeting. And you lay down like on your back and you're facing up at the ceiling. You know what, I think these Brazilian or waxing places I think they need like a TV like right above, because you're just like, you need to focus on something else besides some woman putting hot ass wax on you and ripping that shit right off. Like, you're probably going to heaven for like those 5 seconds, you know, if you've been a good girl. So anyways, off topic once again, if I'm being honest. Okay, I feel like I'm saying that too much. I need to stop, if I'm being honest. I lay down, and so she's like, oh, you know, spread them butterfly. And I'm just like, does it look like I know what that is? Oh, I'm sorry. You just basically just spread your legs like that. Okay, thanks for telling me. It's kind of like you meet your legs like this. You basically, yeah, just basically have them like this, stretched like that. She was trying to keep me like from focusing too much on it, because if you focus so much on it and worried about it all the time, it will hurt more than it really does hurt. They have like, you know, their own little setup over here or whatever side it is, and they have like, I'm not gonna lie, they have like kind of like a chicken roaster kind of like slow cooker kind of thing for the wax. I don't really mind that. I'm just like, you know what, you do you, you know, if it works, as long as it's sanitary, I really don't care. But the crock pot thingy, it has like the hard wax, and then the other one has like the kind of smoother wax. And so they have like these little plastic cups where they just dump the hard wax in, which is what they usually use first. They make sure it's at the right temperature, and then that's when they start. This is the vagina. This is the little lips, if you will. And let's say the rest of it is like, you know, like the top part of it, like that's like right there. So the way the lady started, she started at the top first, like right here. And basically they just like slide all like a long strip of the hard wax. The hard wax is the one that kind of gets not solid like a rock, but kind of gets like tough, so they just rip that right off. They don't use like wax in strips. So she just does that in strips, and she did them in pretty long strips, which I think that personally, now that I know and I'm used to it, I think that you should tell them to do shorter ones, because I mean, I know it may take a bit longer, but personally for me, I feel like it hurts way less if they do like smaller strips than doing a huge as long one. I know that you'll go ahead and get the pain over with, but it's like I'd rather go take longer and do the small strips. So anyway, so I'm gonna use this as a top. I'm gonna go ahead and reference that, and here's the vagina. So they're just doing strips like this, like just all over, like going this way, going that way, and then, you know, doing the direction where the hair is supposed to. And then I was mentally preparing. I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I was like in my head like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And the lady was just like, you know, just talking to me, you know, like, okay, you know, just get prepared, you know. And so they kind of like put their hands on it to kind of like make it stick almost. And they do use gloves. Just make sure that they are using gloves, just, you know, for them and for you as well. I mean, you don't know what they've been doing with their hands. Make sure that they're wearing gloves. And so they start off like in one little section. They kind of peel it back, and you already feel your hair's coming out. So in the other girl's video, the one that I had the idea from getting a Brazilian, she said that her I don't even know what they're called, her lady that was doing her, told her to, okay, hold your breath and like let it out real quick once I rip it off. This lady did not tell me that, but she did kind of start, like the first time they do tell you, okay, 1, 2, 3. So I've tried the whole that does not work for me, if I'm being honest. I've tried it and it doesn't really work for me. But all they say is 1, 2, 3. Yank that shit off right off, and then they slap the shit out of your cooch. Like they put their hand on it real good. Like they put their hand on it to maybe kind of like sustain the pain. You know, they kind of like just pressure, like, okay, it's okay, you're okay, you're still alive, you got it. I was just laying there like 1, 2, 3. That's my face expression. That was literally how I looked the entire time. She did all of the top, and then that's when it got to here. So I was already, you know, a big old puffy tree down there. And so she started off like she had to split that shit right open to get all up in my crevices. And so she started like right here on the edge, right here, and then they kind of do multiple strips at the same time. And then she did it like right there in the crease, like where my legs and like, you know, where my cooch starts, like right there in that little edge. She did one right there on both sides. Like she had like 4 strips. I was like, oh my gosh, she has all that shit down there. I am not ready for that. And she told me where it hurts the most is right there, right there, right on the edge, and I cannot agree any more than that. That, to this day, I'm still not used to it, and to this day it's still very painful. Not very painful, I'm kind of more used to it. You know, I just think it's just like, I'm always nervous, I'm always scared. So I think that part is always gonna hurt the most to me. She's like, okay, this is gonna hurt the most, so, you know, 1, 2, I think she started like from the bottom, so she's like 1, 2, that shit's gone. I swear, I like blacked out for probably 5 seconds, and she did the other one while I was blacked out, and I blacked out for another 5 seconds. And that hurt so much. Like, it hurt a lot. After each strip that they tear off, they put their hands on you, because it does help. I'm not gonna lie, because they're not, that wound is like open and like absorbing and then absorbing. So they put their hands on it to kind of cool the pain almost, which it does help. It helps a lot, because you're just like pain like, and then once they're done with that, they're like, okay, flip your ass over. So I flipped over, you know, you get onto your stomach, and then they're like, okay, can you grab your butt cheeks and spread them apart? I'm just like, you wanna take me out to dinner first? Since I'm fat, I can't reach that well, you know, like, I'm just like, ooh, can't do it, help me. I feel like I did not help these women at all when it came to like opening the butt cheeks. She literally did it herself. I don't know why they keep asking me when they're literally the only ones that. So they put it like right, like, okay, here's the butt. They split it open. They put it like right in there, like right in there. And she only did it in 2 strips, like one for this side and one for that side. And then that one, honestly, that one does not hurt as much. Like, yeah, it's like, ooh, but it was not like, oh my gosh, like the cooch. So that one was not that bad at all, and it's gone like very quickly. I feel, because like your ass is like tough, you know, like it's ready for everything. Mine is not. Mine isn't. Then, you know, you kind of lay back over. That's when they get like the soft wax, and they just kind of lay it all like all over like quickly. It's because when they use that, it's to get like the very thin small hairs. That's what it's there for. The hard wax like rips off chunks of you, and the other one is like they put like they use the waxing strips. They put the soft wax, they put the waxing strips on top, and that one doesn't hurt as much. Like, you can feel it like kind of tugging at your skin, but that one does not hurt as much. That's when they put the baby powder all over. They just rub it all up on you. It's very soothing and it makes you feel soft. So that was basically all of it. That's basically what happens when I go get waxed. After, you know, you get waxed, you basically, you know, you get dressed unless you want to walk out like that. And I go to the front, and the wax itself is $35. I tipped the lady 10 bucks. So the aftercare, the only thing I do is exfoliate. That's the only thing I do. The one that I use, I actually don't have it here with me, but it's one that I got at Ulta. I think it's like the one, it's just that tub of the body scrub. And I don't think we should be using scented ones, especially like right after. But it does say that you should be exfoliating for like the next 2 days. I do that. I do exfoliate because it prevents you from getting like ingrown hairs, especially your first time. Don't exfoliate yourself really hard, but like exfoliate yourself just so you know everything like comes out nicely and smoothly. Now the aftergrowth, what I can say, the first time, I swear it looked like I was going bald, like because the first times you're after you shave and everything, your hair doesn't grow out at the same time. Everything grows out at different, like, you know, phases or whatever. So the first time I waxed, it was like very like it was so bare. It looked like hair here, hair here, hair here, hair here, hair here. Like it looked like I was just losing hair so quickly. But now that I've waxed several times, all of my hair grows out at the same time, which I really enjoy. So now I don't look like I'm dying. I thought that it was gonna come out thick and disgusting and coarse or whatever, but I feel like my hair is actually coming out thinner. It doesn't feel pokey or anything like that. I feel like it comes out like peach fuzz on your hair. That's how it feels like when it's starting to come out. I know it's kind of sounding like TMI or whatever, but like that's what it really feels like. That's how it kind of feels like on my skin. Like, you know, I have like lots of hair right here, and that's how it feels like. I do get mine typically about 6 to every 8 weeks. You should wait at least 4 weeks to go get waxed. I enjoy it. It maybe not be for everybody because of the pain. To this day, it does kind of hurt still, especially right there, the lips. It does hurt there. Yeah, that's basically all that it is to the Brazilian wax. Thanks so much for watching. That's the end of this video, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys. They're just like whoosh, 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 whoosh. I'm just like oh god, please stop, I'll give you $50 if you stop, please. I feel like kind of like, ew, I just got waxed, you know, like you don't know what's going on underneath these panties.